All right, guys, I have another Black Bay 41 Heritage on my desk here, and I did a video on this actual style of watch a while ago, and I remember saying, I didn't go back and watch it, but I do remember saying, don't buy this as a replacement or a substitute for the Rolex Explorer. That's a 39 millimeter watch. It's totally different size and feel to the watch, and I still stand by that. But after seeing this one again, I can't help but think there's some people out there that really think they want the Rolex Explorer, but maybe they don't. And I base that on me owning that Rolex Oyster Perpetual 39 millimeter, which is like the same case and has a lot of similarities as far as the Oyster Perpetual 39 and the Rolex Explorer. And it's a great watch. It disappears on wrist. It is phenomenal quality. It is totally worth it. But hear me out. So sometimes you want something, or maybe you think you want that type of watch, but you're used to wearing bigger, more masculine type watches. And I'm not saying that those other ones aren't, but this one is more, if that makes sense. So this is a 41 millimeter case with a 50 millimeter lug to lug. It's still really thin at only 11 millimeters, so that's similar. And then it has a 22 millimeter lug width, and the bracelet tapers down to an 18. And all of these components are top grade, top notch, well constructed. Even though it is a 50 mil lug to lug, you still have that bracelet that just articulates right over, so it's going to feel really good on wrist. So like I said, I still stand by it's not a substitute for the Explorer. But maybe think about, what do you really, really want? And, budgets and money comes into play as well, because brand new at an authorized dealer, you can purchase one of these for $3,000. And they most likely are going to have one in stock, probably the black one. The blue seems to be selling a little bit better, at least at the ADs that I've stopped and visited. So, but I hope one day to see a blue one, because I think it looks great, even though this one is super classic. So new 3,000 on the used market, depending on how and where and all that good stuff that you purchase it. I think they fluctuate somewhere between maybe on the low end 1,800 and potentially up to 23 into the 2,300 range. Let me know if you guys are finding them at different levels, but I did a pretty good look, and that seems like that's where they're being listed at, and in most cases sold at. So you have the really nice Tudor rose signed crown, and this is going to be a much easier crown to manipulate versus the smaller ones on the Rolex. Again, I can't help but compare it to that, because in my mind, even though I say it's not a substitute, I feel like people are still just going to kind of group it together anyway. So it does have a modified ETA 2824 movement in it, as far as I know. I think that's what's in it when I looked on the Tudor site. So super good quality movement, amazing crown. It is super robust, easy to use. And then you have the bracelet and clasp is just phenomenal with the ceramic detents. You have a really nice fold over bit there, and then you still have your 4 micro adjust. So you do have some, I think this has half links. I could be wrong. Maybe not. You should be able to size it really good. I don't remember sizing it being an issue at all. Just a good all-around everyday watch. I threw this on the time grapher. I'll put a little clip at the end. Here it is on my 7 1/4. So like if you have 6 3/4 or up wrist, I think that would be your breaking point. Anything less than that, and you might want to look at the 36 millimeter. I have a 7 1/4 inch wrist. This is my buddy Jack's watch. His wrist is a little bit wider than mine, so he's got it sized a little bit loose. I would tighten that up a bit, or you can wear it a little bit loose. Like I can get rotation on this, but I think if I tighten it up a little bit, I'd be okay. Maybe drop a link and then bring the micro adjust out, but it wears great on the wrist. I feel it on my wrist, but it doesn't feel like bulky. I just feel it on my wrist. whereas the OP39 kind of disappeared on my wrist. And at least for me, I have been gravitating more towards watches with presence, and this has more presence, in my opinion. Both, most importantly, the feel and the look that I perceive on my wrist, and I don't really care what other people think. So I'm not sure what that effect is or isn't. So I like it on wrist. So at this stage of the game, personally, I would lean more towards this, mostly because I'm value hunting and I'm kind of over, I did my little dabble in the higher market, and I like it on the lower end. So if any of those things intrigue you, I can honestly say you will not be disappointed with the Tudor Black Bay lineup. I like the ones without the riveted bracelet, so this one's definitely more appealing to me, and I could really see owning a Black Bay 41 just like this, or maybe the blue dial, or who knows what they're going to do in the future. I hope they don't add the riveted bracelet. I can't stand that bracelet. I really like the Black Bay 58, but I felt like it was too small on my wrist. This conquers all that. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to give you a lume shot, and like I said, after that, I'll put a little clip of the time grapher, but spoiler, it was basically dead zero. This thing is dead on. So, and that's pretty much on par with what Jack was saying, what he was getting with his accuracy on wrist too. Give you a little close up, but it's a little dirty. Obviously, I've been wearing it a little bit, but excellent handset. I know there's a hater that love it with the snowflake. I actually really like them. This is a clean, well laid out dial. I could maybe use a date on them, but I'm fine without. Like, I don't have to have a date on it. I think it's nice to keep the symmetry, and it's really clean looking. I mean, if you think about it, even some of the higher end watches, they're putting a lot of stuff on the dial, and Tudor refrained from doing so. They have their crown, the Tudor Geneve rotor and self-winding, and a smiley face curve. That's perfect. That doesn't need anything less. It doesn't need anything more. So let me close you out with a lume shot. And I appreciate you guys watching. Big thanks to Jack for lending this in. And it has good lume. It has very good lume, actually. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next vid.